Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
our guest, Mr. Muhammad bin Umar, Manager, Islamic Capital Market Department, Securities Commission Malaysia, and also to my team member, my colleague, Mr. Nuruddin Anthony. So first and foremost, on behalf of this group, we would like to actually thank Mr. Muhammad for your time to actually be with us for this interview session to discuss on our project paper for our Islamic capital market course, which is a requirement for our Masters in Islamic Finance Practices in INSEF University. The title of the project paper is Strategic Recommendation for ESG Positive Sharia Screening Methodology in Malaysian PLCs, a focus on the social component in SRI taxonomy. So, Mr. Muhammad, how are you?
Alhamdulillah.
I think it's still not too late for us to wish you Eid Mubarak.
Yeah, same goes to you. Same goes to you, both of you.
Thank you.
Eid Mubarak.
So, just to share before we start with our interview, the objective of this project is actually we have three objectives that we want to achieve. First, we want to identify the current practices of Sharia screening methodologies implemented for public listed companies listed in Bursa Malaysia. Number two, to investigate the challenges and opportunities in implementing effective ESG compliant Sharia ethical screening methodology in the context of social component of SRI taxonomy. And number three, to propose a feasible strategic recommendations for ESG positive Sharia screening methodology that can be implemented to assess in Malaysian PLC social impact in line with the social component objective in SRI taxonomy. So before we begin, Mr. Muhammad, perhaps can you actually just share with us your journey towards the Islamic capital market, your career journey towards the Islamic capital market, inshallah, before we start the question.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to both of my brothers. I've been with SC for 18 years, fantastic 18 years with SC. But before I joined the Islamic capital market, I joined other department, which is the bond market. Then I joined ICM, Islamic capital market, somewhere in 2014. Then on the same year, actually, I registered myself for Master in Islamic Finance Practice from INSEF. It's under the profound scholarship by myself. We do just online, and actually once a while we go to class to get the to see the lecturer, right? So I think the opportunity to learn it from the lecture from the university is actually, if you do it full-time basis, actually it's more time for you to get some research and connect with the student as well, and also the lecturers. Okay. Actually, okay, before I maybe before we start the interview question, I just have another one question for you, for both of you. What make you actually choose the only one pillar for the social instead of the environment and the social and the governance? What make you choose this social? What make this special for you to explore more on the social aspect?
Maybe we can start with Mr. Nuruddin.
Okay. Can you hear me? Should I start first or Mr. Farah?
Yeah, Nuruddin, please.
Okay, actually, what made us go with it, because you know, with the way things are going through now in the industry, most especially everyone. So people now, we are more a little bit social. Sorry, it was the internet. So we are more into a social
I think while Nuruddin is fixing with the connection. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, there are several reasons, Mr. Muhammad, for actually
Yeah.
the social component. First is actually looking at the current situation of
Okay.
SG is actually becoming booming. Most of the concentration is actually focusing on the environmental, to improve the environmental aspects, which is such as these net zero campaigns and green green campaigns and etc., which is good.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the social part, it's more on the related, if I'm not, if I may, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it's more related to the Islamic social finance. It's more
Yeah.
related to zakat. It's more related to waqaf. It's more related to sadaqah. So I'm looking at how Malaysia can actually have another angle, which is, I believe, which will be a very huge prospects if, let's say, the campaigns and the awareness and also the movement to enhance and elevate the development of our philanthropic institution will begin from the capital market landscape. So that is actually the priority. And looking at the prospect of actually being one of the biggest country that actually and the leading country in Islamic finance, I believe this will be a very good indicator on very good benchmark that will be followed by most of the countries. So this is actually my motivation to actually do this study, Mr. Mohammed.
Thank you very much for the answer.
Sorry, the internet went off. So actually, just to add to what Mr. Farid said, can you hear me now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so just to add to what Mr. Farid said, what I was saying before is we are now in an era which the industry, let's say 60% of the industry now, they are moving, they are just working towards the social due to what is happening due to what is happening in the world now, especially after the COVID. So everybody is thinking of how to bring up how we can be more social, going from the Islamic social finance. So we thought that, okay, if we can bring this kind of perspective down to the SRR, it's going to be a good project, or let's say a good write-up, where we'll be able to like see going to see other things that the industry is lacking. And also with what Mr. Fadi said, it's going to like everything has been touched majorly in when we come to everything has been touched majorly in the, let's say, Malaysia, because Malaysia, it's like the leading country in the Islamic social finance. So majority of the countries now, we are trying, they are looking up to Malaysia. So Malaysia has to have like 1 or 2 steps forward.
Yeah.
Because it's just like when you're leading people, you have to be a head forward, because questions is going to come from each angle. So if they are not focusing on it, then who else will do that? So that's one of the things that I discussed with Mr. Faris. So we decided to go more on the social aspect.
Okay.
So if let's say we would like to actually ask you, Mr. Muhammad, could you describe the current Sharia screening methodologies that are employed for the public listed companies and securities in Malaysia? So, and how do these Sharia screening methodologies integrate ESG factors, particularly in the social aspects?
Okay. Under the current methodology, that means the Sharia screening methodology that established by the Sharia Advisory Council of SSC. Sharia Advisory Council SSC of SC. Okay. The the SC conduct Sharia compliance review for the PLC, public listed companies, using a two-tier approach. First approach is quantitative, which is we look at the financial ratio of the companies, we look at the business activity benchmark for the companies, we look at the interest income for the company, dividend income for the company. This is totally based on the negative screening, right? So negative screening means we have to identify all the relevant Sharia non-compliant activities that in the companies, either from the financial benchmark or business activity benchmark. So we put certain benchmark. We put certain benchmark means the tolerance level benchmark. Tolerance level or the benchmark means if the contribution from the non-compliant activity lower than the permitted benchmark, then the company still can be Sharia compliant, even though there are Sharia non-compliant contributions, but since it is below the permitted benchmark, the company still can be classified as a Sharia compliant status because of this the permitted benchmark. Okay, because of the company is the score is below the permitted benchmark. Okay, number two is the qualitative. Qualitative, when the SSC look at the image of the company, it's nothing to do with the calculation or quantitative for the in order to come up with the status for the company. Okay, these two approach that apply to all the public listed companies that listed on Bursa. Okay, whereas the ESG positive screening is actually when you look at the two methodology, this is different methodology from the Sharia screening methodology. If you look at the name also is different, right? Between the negative screening and positive screening, which the methodology is totally different, and we cannot actually mix or integrate this both methodology. We can overlay, but we cannot integrate into in order to come up with the final result. Okay, we can overlay, but we cannot integrate. Integrate means we can refer, okay, this is Sharia compliant company. Okay, we give a scoring or credential to the company, and then once we have the scoring, and then we do have some indicator or KPI for that ESG positive screening, for example, and then we come up with our final decision about the company. Okay, based on the scoring. Okay, ESG positive screening is actually the complementary for capital raising and investment approaches with I think many shared principle. Okay, under this principle is actually if you look at the Maqasid Sharia documents, it's actually quite overlap with some of it overlap. But if you focus to human rights, there are some elements that is not very in line. For example, we're talking about human rights, that people LGBT is actually they are very against the Sharia principle, right? But under the social aspect, we should actually recognize the LGBT group. But for the Sharia principle, Sharia perspective, this is actually very against the Sharia principle. So that kind of, but other thing, maybe it could actually share the same aspirations toward the social aspect of the human, for example, the worker, and also the environment, and as well as the governance. Okay, I think both ESG positive screening and Maqasid Sharia documents or aspiration a good steward to the society and also the environment. However, to establish the credential for the PLC, you need to have a separate methodology, because Sharia compliance screening is a different, like I said previously, between the negative screening and positive screening. So the Sharia compliant ESG or sustainable responsible investment initiative exercise is actually intended to democratize ESG information of the companies to create greater awareness for the investor. Yeah. For example, actually, the objective is to get the investor aware about the importance of the to comply or to comply and to practice the ESG as well as the maqasid of Sharia. This is this is the I think the very pivotal for the company to adopt the ESG practices. Yeah, that's my take.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Really appreciate you on the reply you gave us. Actually, I also have a question. I have, let's say, not just question, a lot of questions. Sorry. You already answered, maybe I can say you answered one out of it. Actually, it's regarding the challenges and opportunities. We would like to know what are the main challenges you face when implementing this ESG compliant Sharia ethical screening methodology. Conversely, what opportunities have you identified that could enhance the integration of social factors?
Okay, in establishing the methodology, actually we have two options. Currently, we are still in the process of deliberate the possible options to come up or to establish the ESG positive screening, because number one is first option is actually we ourselves SC have to come up with their own methodology. Means we have to come up with the framework and a guideline before we actually impose or before actually we produce the methodology that all the public listed companies or to the industry to adopt, to apply in the business. Number two is actually we should engage with the independent third-party provider. For example, the rating company or other firms that actually they can provide the services by come out with their own methodology that they recommend for us to use. The problem or the challenges for us right now is actually, number one is we don't have the capacity. We don't have the capacity or expert in SC to look at the, for example, the materiality assessment, right? So in order for you to actually do the review on the ESG, actually either from environment perspective, social or governance, you have to have those who are really expert in the industry, because we have many industry, right? And the Bursa public listed company, we have many industry, manufacturing, the oil and gas, the healthcare. So we have to assign expert to those industry, because we have the different type of indicator, different type of aspect and KPI for the company. Because we don't have the SIC, we don't have the capacity, so we will consider to engage to tie up with the third-party provider to provide on their proposal of the methodology and action plan. What need for SC to do in order to provide this kind of document. So that's the challenges for us, I think. Okay, if we want to opt for option one, that's a problem. If you want to opt for option two, so we need to have various type of company and methodology. Okay, for example, we pick one, we put company A. Okay, this kind of methodology is actually after we review all the methodology. Okay, we take this methodology from the company A. What about other methodology? okay, if for example, the existing companies already use B methodology, a firm B methodology, when we actually pick A's methodology, then they will compare with us. So they say our result, the result from the ESG positive screening is different from the SC because they use the different methodology or company. We use a different methodology company. So this discrepancy actually can create a confusing for the investor, for the stakeholder. You know, that's the challenges for the in the industry I can see. Okay, for example, I like to use the case of Tesla. You know, I remember Tesla has been rated by MSCI, another company I cannot remember the rating provider. They come up with two different type of rating for Tesla. One company rating provider, they look at the end product of Tesla. They they produce electric EV car, right? That's good for the environment. Actually, they are do best practice in terms of the environmental aspect. Okay, this is very sustainable product. Okay, they have a good rating. On the other side, from the other rating provider, they rated Tesla very low because of they look at the aspect. Okay, Tesla, yes, you produce a EV car, but how you manufacture the battery manufacturing actually involve a lot of
pollution.
It's not pollution, it's not the carbon emission, right? So they look at the worker. This is a social aspect as well. So they look at the social aspect. For example, how the human capital, the human capital in terms of human right, in terms of the safety and health, in terms of the working condition, in terms of the diversity in the working environment, whether the gender, the race, whatever, they look to that certain extent. So we have a two different set of different type of what we call this at the KPI. Maybe this first rating provider just look at the end product. This company look at the whole thing, not only the end product, but they consider as well the other thing. They provide some score. Then at the end of the day, the result could lead to make the companies have the lower in terms of the scoring for the environment, for example. Okay. If you have if you don't understand or don't get what I say, just ask me to repeat.
Yeah, it's clear.
Before we come up with the third question, just to follow up for this question, Mr. Muhammad. The current practice of ESG screening in Malaysia is using is actually a partnership between Bursa Malaysia and also Fatsi Russell. So Fatsi Russell is considered as the external agency rating for ESG. And there are several sustainability rating agencies as well. Dow Jones is there. We have RAM, and there are various rating agencies in the market. So my question is, how different is the approach that ICM is planning to actually and the challenges that you mentioned earlier in comparison to the current practice of Malaysia's Bursa Malaysia?
Okay, if you ask me about the difference between the FTSE and other rating provider, okay. First, we look at the objective of this screening methodology, or for example, the FTSE and other rating provider. the objective of the screening. For example, the FTSE, they use a rating. Other rating provider, they use scoring. Scoring means how the score for the certain KPI or certain indicator. For example, environment is a different score, and social is different score, governance is different score. But for FTSE, they use a rating, rated 1 to 5, for example. Okay, the objective is to provide the ESG score of all Sharia compliant PLC for the other than the FTSE. For the FTSE, they use a rating. So that's a different between in terms of the scoring. Okay. Number 2 is a form of informations. Form of information is, I think, for the FTSE, they only use rating, but for the other rating provider, based on SC portal, providing ESG score, this is what we plan to do. Okay. So what we plan to do is based on SC portal means the investor or the stakeholder can actually check on the ESG score for the Sharia compliant companies only. Okay, for example, we screen all the 900 companies. Okay, out of 900 companies, for example, 700 companies are Sharia compliant. So we only provide the score for the 700 company, not for the whole PLC, public listed company. But for FTSE, they're rated for all 900 companies. That's the difference between what we're going to do and what FTSE doing right now. Okay, there's a form of information. So the investor can, for example, I take ABC company. I would like to invest in ABC company. Okay, I will check, this is Sharia compliant company. But how about the score? This is the score. Okay, for example, 200. I just simply give a numbers, 200. So clearly the investor or stakeholder or potential investor can see the status of Sharia compliant and the score from the ESG. But for the FTSE, they only can look at the rating of the company 1 to 5. How 1 to 5 how the company is rated by the FTSE. Okay, number 3 is approach. As I said just now, the approach is the scoring is only for the Sharia compliant. We do for Sharia compliant companies. So this is where we actually overlay Sharia compliant methodology, Sharia compliant companies, and ESG companies, ESG rating. So we overlay. We just take all the Sharia compliant companies, then we give a score for the Sharia compliant companies. But for the FTSE, they provide all the companies. Okay. Okay. Number 4, the methodology. The methodology is actually a difference. I don't know what the FTSE methodology, but for what we're going to have in the future is customized for the SC. Okay, for example, we engage with this rating provider, but we need to customize based on what we ask them to customize what is suitable for the SC as a regulator. They cannot just propose one methodology and then we adopt all the methodology and we publish the methodology for the industry. No, this is based on what they propose, and then we can actually customize based on the suitability after we consider many aspects, especially on the Islamic perspective, and also must be in line with the maqasid of Sharia. Okay, in terms of the report for the FTSE, they actually charge for the means that you have to subscribe for their service in order to get the result or to get the rating for all the public listed company. But for the SC, actually we provide for free. So all the investor, all the market participant can actually access to this information. The company is actually charter compliant, or what are the scoring for the ESG, and also what are the maqasid Sharia guide, what are the maqasid Sharia aspiration and principle that the company practices. Okay, the frequency of update, it could be maybe at semi-annually. We actually still deliberate on the frequency of the updates, whether semi-annually or annually. But for FTSE, they update annually. So based on the financial statement of the companies. Okay, that's the difference between the FTSE and the one that we would like to intend to provide to the industry.
So very
Thank you.
So the question number 3, basically,
Mr. Faris is just asking all the questions. I also have questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can Mr. Faris hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Do you still have one more the same question, or it's different?
No. You can please proceed, Mr. Redden.
Okay, thank you. Because actually it's almost time for us to hear, so I just want to ask some questions. Actually, you spoke speaking about the methodology you mentioned lately. I just wanted to ask, how does the SC support the development and the implementation of social component screening in Sharia compliant investments? Because your last statement has there's something that the points are there. So can you just elaborate a little?
Okay. Actually, social aspect is one of the most important pillars under sustainability agenda. Okay, in supporting this pillar, actually, same to we are supporting to the other 2 pillars, environment and governance, right? By putting the relevant KPI under the social aspect, I think such as I mentioned a little bit just now on the human capital, for example, right? You have to have that KPIs, right? In order for you to come up with the methodology, you have to the KPI and indicators, whether the company, what are the, for example, I have an example here. In terms of human capital, in terms of diversity and gender, I said just now, right? Okay, how's the company policy to treat their staff, employer, sorry, not the staff and employees, the staff and employees. The diversity, how many percent of the gender? Do they actually come up with the policy that we have certain in one department, actually they need to have some actually not only all male staff, so they have to actually hire female staff, for example, in one department. They're not only centered to only male staff, for example, right? But and also the race. For example, in Malaysia, we actually have many race, right? Malay, Chinese, and Indian. So maybe the company, this is under human capital as well. So we have to consider to hire not only one race, but other different race in Malaysia. And also, and of course, human right is very important for the companies, right? For the companies, so you have to come up with the clear policy. What are the human rights that you advocate for? And then the portal under the human capital is safety and health. I think every company actually have very clear policy on safety and health. This is under social aspect as well. And working condition. What are the working condition for the companies? For example, the company just offer to the employee only less than 10 annual leave for a month. It is very actually best practice in the industry. If not consider the annual leave for the employees, Okay, things like that. This is a working condition and community development. What are the community development that you practice in your company, right? The data privacy. I think this is more on the consumer. The consumer means if you deal with your if the business actually deal with the customer or consumer, what the data privacy they put in place, what the consumer protection, for example, the consumer satisfaction. This is all the social aspect, supply chain management, and also the animal welfare. For example, there are some company actually like banks actually they're not actually relevant to certain of the KPI. So we remove from the methodology, we remove from the list of the KPI or indicator, right? For actually human welfare. So if you dealing with the environment, okay, this is you can put the animal welfare, for example, in this as a KPI for you. But for those who's not, for those company or business not involved with the environment or other thing, you can remove the animal welfare, for example. So actually, the KPI you can is very flexible, and you can put the KPI in order for you to cater all the business, all the segment of business, and also it cover all industry. All right. So basically, that are the example of the KPI that you should put into the under social aspect. So from time to time you can recalibrate, because okay, when you put those KPI, for example, under social, that 10 KPIs, so you have the scoring. Okay, after you have the scoring, you can monitor. Maybe you can monitor for the following years. What are the scoring? From there, you can do the gap analysis. Okay, try to actually close the gap, and you can recalibrate your actions. You can recalibrate your plan, okay, in order for you to achieve the objective, to close the gap, because you have the certain KPI. For example, the indicator say that very low, so you move towards next year, the subsequent year, you need to have to improve from low to the middle, to the mid level, for example. So this is how the scoring supposed to be, supposed to serve all the public listed companies.
Very fruitful. Thank you very much.
My question, basically, in I mean, we are still in the early process, I suppose, in integrating the ESG Sharia screening. But is there any how does Malaysia's approach in integrating ESG Sharia screening, positive Sharia screening, in comparison with other initiatives from other leading countries in Islamic finance? And are there any international practices that could inform or improve such methodologies? I understand there is an initiative driven by SETCO and also Wahid Investment on Sustainable. But how about Malaysia in comparison to actually these approaches?
Okay, for this question, I think since we are not the one who directly established the methodology, we can actually just review the methodology. There are various methodology, right, coming from the different rating provider or the ESG firm that provide their services in terms of to provide the scoring or rating. So I think it's best for you to actually, I can respond more on the approaches using by other jurisdiction. But I think if you have to get the relevant informations from the various third party, for example, the FTSE, the rating and other, then you can look at the what are the different approach. But if you look at if you want to say want to get response from the SC. I think we are not done yet, so we cannot comment further because of we still actually deliberate, we still assess, we still review the which methodology could actually suit with us. So in terms of the differences, or which one is good, which one is not good, I think I cannot respond on this quite technical also for me. Yeah.
Mr. Mohammed, let's move to the next question. Actually, I have a question on how do SC support and constrain the development and the implementation of the social component screening in Sharia compliant investment. But I think from your previous answer, we can see that SC is actually very supportive, and with the development of two principle-based guidelines. One is actually the SRI taxonomy, and another one is Maqasid Syariah guidelines. And most of the robust initiative that has been conducted in the past 2-3 years actually. My question is actually I want to shift a bit more on the Islamic social finance. I mean, one of the social objective, which is the social objective 3, is actually more towards the community. We know that ESG screening is actually quite generic to actually for the whole. Is there any plans to actually insert some portion of social finance screening for the PLCs, such as the involvement in Waqaf, in the involvement in Zakat, and involvement in the Sadaqah among the PLCs? Are we going to measure that?
Okay. Currently, we actually talking about the positive screening, right? So we would like to come up with the positive screening, and we already have a negative screening. And then in the future, we already have the Maqasid Sharia documents, aspiration and KPI. Okay, so from these 3 things, we actually overlay, and then we have this result, the outcome from these 3 documents or methodology into one, and then we come up with our what we call is, for example, sustainable responsible investment under Islamic capital market, for example, right? Okay, under the Sharia guideline, under the Maqasid Sharia, we have about 16 aspirations, right? 16 aspiration. Okay, it's actually a cover many social aspects as well. As you mentioned earlier about zakat, yes, maybe we could impose. It's not impose. Actually, we encourage the company to pay zakat. But currently, we cannot see any company they put they declare on the zakat part. Means they're not announced in the annual report. But yes, if you look at the financial statement or the P&L of the company, they mention about the profit before tax and zakat. You put the zakat, some company, not all company. But in future, yeah, if it is very possible for us to, in order for us to see their effort actually towards to apply the Maqasid Sharia for the company or for the business, actually, they can announce that they claim that they need to pay zakat a certain amount. Not only the financial statement, but before they actually in the listing what do you call this, in the pre-IPO stage, because this is need to entice more Muslim investor. Okay, for example, I'm not only Sharia compliant company, because we need to make beyond the Sharia compliant, beyond the profit, beyond the Sharia compliant means halal and tayyibah. We have to look at the Maqasid of Sharia. So what you should do, what the company should do, the company in terms of the social aspect, in terms of the zakat, in terms of waqaf. So they have to put in the prospectus, in the draft prospectus, where the stage that they need to get shareholder, to entice more shareholder to buy this share. I think it will be possible. It will be possible for the company because we're moving towards to achieve the Maqasid Syariah aspiration for the business. Yeah. If you ask me whether we actually going towards to achieve that kind of things, yes, I'm very sure. I'm not sure. I'm very positive about that. I'm very positive about we are actually going towards to look at the every aspect in the Maqasid of Sharia, inclusivity and accessibility, yeah, fiduciary and accountability. Yeah, that's a part of aspiration from the Maqasid of Sharia.
Great to know. I mean,
Yeah.
that Mr. Muhammad, you're positive on this for the future upcoming. Alhamdulillah. And based on your vast experience in the ICM department, and looking to the Islamic capital market and PLC, basically, besides CSR and the current practices that they are actually doing to basically to elevate or to implement the social aspects of the ESG, what strategic recommendations would you recommend to enhance the assessment of social impacts by Malaysian PLC? You're mentioning just now, perhaps moving forward, they will have a Maqasid Syariah reports, how much they contribute in zakat and things like that. But what are the key elements that should be considered now in order for us to move to that aspirations?
Okay, for it's under social aspect, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think besides CSR and current practices, I think I have already answered the example of the social and the KPIs that I mentioned just now on the human capital, diversity, human rights, safety, and health. I think we just focus on that important part because this is, if you look at the rating provider, they actually focus on this thing that is very clear, and then is not is something doable. Something doable that every company can do. If you put something that is very, it's not impossible, it's very challenging for the company to apply, to practice, to adopt. Is very we call this okay. If you put something that beyond what they can do, is this is not the objective. We put something that we set something that every company can actually achieve in terms of the social aspect first. Okay, if the first year or first 5 years, for example, we can see the trend. Okay, we can see the trend that all the company can actually adopt this practice, the best practice, and they coming to achieve the KPI that we set. So we move to another KPI that actually could give a greater impact to the society. Okay, we cannot put all together. For example, we have 100 KPIs for the company in the social aspect. So actually, it's very hard, difficult, not only for the company. It's not only for the company. It's hard for it's very challenging. It's very difficult for the regulator to monitor the company, to provide to conduct the review on the social aspect in terms of the scoring and everything. I think we just focus on the specific 10 or 15 KPIs. Then we see from time to time you can actually revise or improve what are the KPI or replace the KPI, since we see that all the companies actually already already apply the best practice in the business, then we move towards to the next stage. Same example with the Sharia compliant. You see Sharia compliant, right? When we started, there's not. I don't think I don't think the result from the 900 companies we can get as of today. More than half of the public sector companies is Sharia compliant. Now is about 700 companies is Sharia compliant. So from Sharia compliant, we move towards another type of screening. For example, ESG screening, and then we have a Maqasid Sharia. We cannot put a very so many things in the KPI. For example, if you put if you put something not doable, is I think it create a problem for the not only for the companies to comply, not company to adopt, but for the regulator and all the stakeholder to actually monitor or to see the improvement or to see the development of the methodology.
I agree with you, Mr. Muhammad, because based on our findings as well, in Malaysia, I think integrating Maqasid Sharia and ESG positive Sharia screening, basically on the social component. One of the main challenges is actually because of the nature of diverse stakeholders expertise in Malaysia.
Yes.
Yeah, we are multicultural. We are actually from different perspective, etc., etc.
Yes.
Investors, the management board, and lots of stakeholders. All right.
Yes.
And I think this approach is, I believe, what SC has done on the negative screening. It was actually a long marathon since 1996 until today. So it came up with the minor innovation and improvisation. Yes. All right. Understood. Okay. Moving to question number 6. Looking ahead, Mr. Muhammad, how do you see this evolution of Sharia screenings methodologies concerning the social component of ESG, perhaps in the next 5 years? Are there new trends and innovation on the horizon that SC is currently discussing, perhaps to actually to enhance whatever that is being developed at this moment?
Okay. I think currently Sharia screening and ESG is not a new trend anymore, because every jurisdiction and country actually already started their journey by providing a clear direction and by providing in terms of the methodology that they use to identify which company have a good ESG practice or Sharia compliant. I think this Sharia compliance screening and ESG screening is not a trend. This is not a new trend anymore. But the new trend is the Maqasid Sharia aspirations. Actually, this will be the latest initiative made by SC, or I think the only country that come up with this kind of document, and for the capital market. So in fact, Malaysia is the first jurisdiction that come up with this document. Then we would like to moving forward. We would like to integrate with our both negative and positive screening. Then we come up with other new what we call is sustainable responsible investment scoring. Okay. If you ask me what the evolution for the Sharia screening, I think you should focus on the Maqasid because ESG screening and the negative screenings is already not the trend. I think every country already have their plan or already started their journey, but they are not ready for the Maqasid Sharia guideline or aspiration, because they are still debate or challenges or dispute between the country in Islamic country. For example, they don't see our Maqasid Sharia is something is right for the industry, right? Some it's like I think it's like the last time we have issue on the harmonization standard, right? I think you know about that. I think you know the issue. Certain country actually does not recognize certain type of contract. For example, this country recognize this contract but not this contract. So the harmonization standard is not there yet for the Maqasid Sharia because this is still early stage. But I think if you focus on this, I think it will be get more actually tractions from coming from the, because we have received many feedback from the industry, from the stakeholder, from the most importantly from the investor. They are looking for something like this is the one that they are looking for. For example, in Maqasid Sharia, right? Okay, we have a product. For example, food product, right? For food product, under the screening methodology, we need to get the halal certification from the recognized authority in order for you to get the to comply with the certain benchmark, right? Under 5%, for example. Okay, you operate a FMB. Okay, where's your halal certificate issued by the relevant authority, by JAKIM in Malaysia, for example, or other relevant recognized authority that provide a halal certificate. Okay, this is the certificate. But we don't look at the product itself. Means it is halal but not tayyib, right? Okay, we don't look at the tayyib part. Okay, this is junk food. Okay, if you consume, if a kid, small kid, consume this junk food every day, right? So what happened to his health? Okay, we don't look at this. For the Sharia compliant, we just look at the, okay, this is get the halal, this is halal certified food, and then that's it, halas. Okay, we consider a halal Sharia compliant. But beyond that halal, what else? So the Maqasid Sharia come into picture to see the tayyibah, the halal, and not just halal but tayyibah. Yeah. That's my take for this question.
That will be a great findings that actually we will actually propose, which is on the, we will focus on the Maqasid Sharia part to see how it can actually work out and on this screening methodologies. Okay, to question 7. Currently, how does ICM department engage with the stakeholders in order to promote the importance of social components in Sharia compliance investment?
Okay, in terms of the engagement with the stakeholder, I think by establishing a new framework, for example, and of course, before we establish new documents, a new framework and guideline, okay, we need to get the feedback. And of course, we need to get the feedback from the industry, for example, the MIBA, from the Association of Bank, from the broker, group of the broker, from the banker, broker, investment bank, intermediaries, from the investor, right? So all the various stakeholders, okay? So we need to engage with them first. So we have, we actually engage through a session like industry dialogue with the relevant, the various stakeholders in terms of the, through a conference, seminar, and through discourse, right? Workshop. Okay, so this is the platform that we are normally use before we plan to have some plan to establish a document or framework or guideline. So whenever we receive a feedback, so we try to actually deliberate and do some assessment and review whether it's actually suit with our market, with our industry, right? So then after that, this is the platform that we use for to engage with the relevant stakeholder.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. Going to the next question. When we talk of the metrics or the indicators, so what are the indicators, what indicators are currently used to measure the social impact of investments? Are there any tools or technology being developed to improve this measurement?
I think this is very straightforward. Means the KPI based on what I said just now. I share with you under the social aspect, right? Based on the scoring to relevant KPI. For example, you're talking about the human capital, right? The diversity. So from if the indicator, I put a 3 indicator. Okay, 3 indicator, and before the indicator, I put some certain score. Okay, for example, out of 100, what I can give to this company, what score should I give to the company under human capital, i.e. the diversity. So I have to look at the company's policy, what their initiative, what their practice under in regard to the social aspect, human right, the diversity, for example. If they have some policy on that, so if we have to compare against the industry practice, okay, then we put a certain score. We give a certain score to the companies. Okay, this is how we actually. It's very straightforward. If you have AI or a new technology in order for the improvise to make the work more efficient, I think it will be great. It will be great. So currently, I think most of the provider just do the straight forward in terms of the measurement of the scoring, or in terms of the provider rating. But I don't know, for the time being, I don't come across with a company who have the very very powerful learning machine or AI, as a platform for them to conduct the review. Yeah, is actually very straightforward.
Thank you. The last question from my end, in what ways, or what are the ways, when we talk of the SRI taxonomy, what has it influenced or changed the corporate policies among the PLCs? But let me put it this way. So with the recent development of the SRI taxonomy, has it influenced or changed the corporate policies among the PLCs?
And just to add on to that, also on the market, the recent development of Makasid Syariah guidance as well. So based on both launching of both guideline, how does it influence or change the corporate policies, the regulatory policies that actually pertaining the PLCs?
Yeah.
Okay. What I can say is we just launched the Makasid, the document last year, right? End of last year. So we cannot expect the company to do actually to provide in full blast, means they can do many things out of all the aspiration that we produce. They adopt all the aspiration. No, we don't actually expect to that level, to such thing. Actually, we need to have some clarity, not only the Maqasid Syariah document, but the greater, the granular information, the more come up with another document to put a very greater clarity on each of every aspiration and the principle under the Maqasid of Sharia. But for the time being, we actually try to encourage the issuers, especially on the Islamic product, to have at least one or two aspiration under the Maqasid. Okay, you take one or two under Maqasid, then when you, for example, the sukuk, you want to issue sukuk, right? So you have to include the aspiration under the Maqasid into your Sharia pronouncement. Okay, when you come up with that kind of things, we see, okay, this is one example of the companies or product that actually already adopt the aspiration under the Maqasid Sharia. So to me is enough. To me is enough for the time being. Whenever we have that clarity from time to time, so we can see a more product, more currently for the PLC, they just do a sustainability reporting as imposed by the Bursa, right? The mandatory sustainability reporting, but not the Maqasid Sharia reporting. But in the future, I believe that we gonna have that kind. We move towards to have that kind of announcement. Yeah, not announcement. What you call this? Reporting under the Maqasid. We have reporting under sustainability. We have reporting under Maqasid of Sharia. So we can see they have under social aspect what the company can do, under the governance, under the environment. So we can see the development of the reporting standard, not only for the sustainability, but only for the Maqasid of Sharia aspect. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muhammad, for a very fruitful session. So to close the session, based on the project paper title, Strategic Recommendations for ESG Positive Sharia Screening Methodology in Malaysia's Public Listed Company, a focus on the social component in SRI taxonomy. Perhaps we can have last words or conclusion from Mr. Muhammad on this topic, or perhaps any other opinions that was not covered throughout the session.
I think I covered not all. I don't know what your focus on. Just answer whatever I think I can share with you. But I believe that in the future there will be more. You can see more something very interesting in terms of we would like all the companies, business to apply the Maqasid of Sharia, because currently we just look at the aspect of Sharia compliant, right? But not cover to the level of to achieve the Maqasid. The Maqasid is the objective of Sharia. We would like to see, okay, the company actually serve the nations, actually serve is like actually part of the important tool for the Islamic economy in Malaysia, for example, we would like to see that. So we want to see, and of course, the improve in terms of the transparency, in terms of the justice and benevolence of the company. Right? This is under Maqasid al-Sharia, the humanity. I think I'm very interesting to see the development or the progress from the Maqasid Sharia. But of course, the ESG and social that you are focusing on, actually, we cannot because these two things actually quite is overlap each other, right? So we can we would like to for example, we discuss about the humanity under the social aspect. So humanity is actually been discussed under the Maqasid. So it's actually we like to see, but what are the clarity from the Maqasid perspective and also from the perspective from the ESG? What are the different? What are the different, and what the Maqasid can provide more, or we expect to Maqasid to provide more because this is something that is beyond only the compliant and positive screening, but to the Maqasid. So we want to see the different from time to time. The market is very dynamic and the rapidly change in terms of the product and services. So how we apply, how the company could apply, and how the stakeholder and also the regulator actually can facilitate the not only the business and investor and all the various stakeholders to achieve the objective of the Sharia. Inshallah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed.
So perhaps Mr. Nuruddin, any last words from your side?
Yeah, let's say it's going to be a little bit outside the topic and inside the topic. I just want to ask Mr. Mohammed, when you first of all saw this topic, how did you perceive it, this topic?
Sorry, come again, sorry.
I said, how did you perceive it when you first of all saw the topic? Is it something new, or it's something that has just been discussed before, or it's something?
It's all still in the discussion because we are not done yet, and we engage with many parties, especially on the rating provider, and we engage with the relevant stakeholder in order to get certain input on this. Actually, this project is started back in before 2020. We already have the plan, and but the challenges in terms of the technical challenges, internal technical challenges, we have to not delay, but we have to come up with sometimes new approach. Sometimes we need to engage with, we need to consider other perspective from the industry. So we need to get the input from the other stakeholder. So many things, right? Before we agree on the certain, we agree to establish this new methodology. So we have to update the SSC, Sharia Advisory Council. So we need to get their feedback on what are their actually the input and their recommendation, for example. So we have to adjust with that, and also the management of the regulator. We have to get the feedback from the Bank Negara as well. So many party or many stakeholders that we have to engage. But from time to time, inshallah, we try to do best and to try to facilitate the industry with this methodology.
definitely we are going to contribute 1 or 2 things to it.
Yeah.
We thank Mr. Muhammad for joining us.
Yeah.
Until just to share with Mr. Nuruddin, because he is actually in Nigeria at this moment. It's 12
Oh, okay.
in Malaysia. So thank you
Oh,
very
okay.
much for this. This is it's an honor for us to actually have you, Mr. Muhammad, to share
yeah.
on the regulatory perspective and industrial perspective on this topic. So
Yeah.
hopefully that you have actually the questions given not I guess you have actually answered all in exemplary manner. We actually gain lots of insight from this. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So inshallah, should we have any further questions or inquiries,
Sure.
actually can you reach you out by
Yes,
the email or by phone?
sure, inshallah. I try my best to provide as much as possible the information and my
Thank you, Mr.
experience.
Muhammad.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum
Thank you.
warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.